two. Down to one. It's game. Yes!
This ball is crushed.
MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling like a paper like Phil. I'm obvious if real, my rhymes convict and heal.
Welcome to the Faithful Fan Show. I'm your host, Tony Cook. Joined today, I had to get Big Juan from the Big Apple, to bring us back into the game. Guys, fans, I'm sorry. Before I let you say what's up, Juan, I got to tell the fans. I'm sorry, everybody. I went dormant. I went into hibernation after the Cowboys lost to the Packers. You guys haven't heard from me. Like, we talked about how the matchup was going to be. I got on here by myself. I was hyped. And then they haven't heard from me since the Cowboys lost. That's some coward shit, right, Juan? Like, that's bad, right?
It's tough to come out of your cave once that happens, man. That's tough. I get it. See, that's because your expectations are always so high. For me, as a lifelong Jets fan, got no expectations. So, we just come right back out and just get run over again.
You're like, Tone, that hurt? Get over it, dog. Come on,
man. At least you made it to the playoffs. At least you had expectations. Come on, man.
And we were talking before I pressed record, and I was saying it's on brand for the Cowboys. What happened?
Unfortunately,
that's why I'm so mad though, because I let myself fall into. Because usually they don't get me this bad. I'm I go into every playoff. You know how this goes. Like just holding my breath. This one. I was looking forward to the next matchup. I was looking forward to the next round.
Leading up to it, it just looks so good. I mean, they especially at home. Like, why wouldn't you think they would run over the Packers?
First time he's not a rookie quarterback, but he redshirted his rookie year, so we basically lost to a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
So I was actually gonna go Super Bowl predictions first before we dogged on our teams and talked about what we need to improve on, but I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna get right into it, boys. It's so we get Dan Quinn, who is no longer with us.
Right. And I mean, just as a coach, he's still alive.
Absolutely. Thank you for clearing that up, Juan. Fans, Dan Quinn is still here on this earth, but he is no longer a Cowboys coach. He's not on the staff. He went to the Washington Commanders. Whatever. And we signed Zimmer, Mike
Zimmerman.
But before all this, we're talking honestly, the real reason we lost the game, and it's frustrating, but not many know this, but Stephon Gilmore dislocated his shoulder the week 17 game. And everyone was like, he's all right. He's going to play. He's going to get to play for the playoffs. We're good. He actually was not all right, and we couldn't play. We usually play bump and run man when plays man. Mm-hmm. Everyone's tripping about the Cowboys. Why do we play zone? All we do is play man. We couldn't do it because when you're playing, man coverage press, your shoulder, you can't have a dislocated shoulder trying to jam a receiver. It's not going to happen. So I think that is a big part of why our defense looked the way it looked, and we couldn't stop the
nosebleed.
They were killing us. And we couldn't stop the run, which is normal for the Cowboys. And hopefully Zimmer brings some type of beef in the middle or actual.
That's supposed to be his thing, right?
So I'm hoping that's, I don't know if I'm excited because I like Dan Quinn.
I just want to know though, like, whose shoulder was bad on offense?
Juan, just let me breeze over it. Let me act like I finally got over it, Juan. You're trying to throw salt in the wound still?
I'm just saying, dog, like, hey, I want you to be more realistic like a Jets fan. And
you know what? In all fairness, it wasn't just that. It wasn't, but that was for our defense, because our defense was our calling card, and everyone was so shocked. And I had a little insight on that part of it. So I wasn't that mad about everyone saying, why did we run zone the whole time? Why do we break character on defense? On offense, I don't know what it. Dak and CeeDee Lamb literally caught the yips in the first couple of series, and they were off. You could see it if you were watching the game. I don't know if you were watching it, Juan.
I did.
They were off though, and you could see it on television, and even the announcers were talking about it. Oh, they were talking back and forth every time CeeDee Lamb ran a route wrong or dropped a pass or Dak threw it bad.
To be honest, it didn't look right from the beginning. And I'm not talking about on the field. Like, the expression on like just the body language from CeeDee Lamb from start to finish was off.
I hate that.
But it was off. Like you could, I mean, as a lifelong sports fan, but whatever little bit of we play, you understand body language and swag. Like all those things are they count. And CeeDee Lamb just did not look the part. He did not look the part.
And it's crazy that you say that because that is literally out of. He has a lot of strong points and a lot of pros, but his cons are literally his body language and his attitude. He has and in big moments when stuff goes bad for him, it like snowballs, and the cornerbacks have a field day with him because they could see it on him. You could see it, like you said, body language. He never like when it goes bad for him, he lets the opponent see it, and they smell shark like a shark. They smell blood in the water, and everyone feeds off of it, and that's like his downside. And it's been happening for a couple years now in big moments.
Yeah, as
I hate that you saw that. That's why I say I hate that because somebody who's not even a Cowboys fan.
And I'm sitting at home watching it from the couch, and you can tell, like it was so obvious.
I hate it.
So obvious.
I hate it. But okay, so to sum it all up, we're way past that. It's Super Bowl time, but I wanted to just say I hope Zimmer brings some run defense because our offense, I feel like we're just gonna sink on the Dak ship. We're not gonna get much better if we move on from Dak. We got to run back. Well, what we can do is shore up the line and get a new running back.
Dak is still a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah. He had a good year. It just sucks that you end like that because
but he can't get over the hump. I mean, but that's it's happened
before. A lot of the quarterbacks. It's a lot of the quarterbacks. Before we go to the Super Bowl though, Juan, I wanted to touch briefly on the Jets and how their season ended and what the offseason looks like in your mind because because Juan, for a second mid-season, we thought there was still a shot for y'all to shine in the wild card. We thought there was.
There was. I mean,
tell me what you saw down the stretch.
Look, at the end of the day, like the technical stuff that you see on the field, obviously the offensive line, but I think this year the offensive line deserves a lot more and Nathaniel Hackett deserve a lot more blame than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was still not good, but my personal opinion, he wasn't terrible, and he had enough flashes of why he was picked number 2 overall. Like anyone who knows anything about football looks at Zach Wilson and thinks, dude, this guy's gonna be a superstar. Like Rex Ryan, I listen to Rex Ryan out here a lot because he's radio, New York radio. But anyway, he's always I like the way he says it. He's got an NFL tool bag, and that's an understatement. I mean, Zach Wilson looks the part, and then there are flashes, right? Which is why it's so frustrating because he flashes what it could be, and it just isn't.
And Juan, you say that, and I was reading up on some Jet stuff, and that's the main thing they said. They said Zach Wilson can make every throw that you would ask a quarterback to make on some we're not gonna hype it up, but like on some Patrick Mahomes stuff, he can make every throw. Josh Allen type arm talent.
You could compare his talent directly with Pat Mahomes.
Exactly.
Allen.
And that's what everyone's saying, but then the downside is in certain moments he makes bad decisions with where he's trying to put the ball,
But it's not just certain moments. The thing is, like, when he had to, like, he made the throws. The stupid thing is, like, on the every down, like just
consistency.
Just hit a swing pass, just hit a 5-yard out is where he couldn't do any of that, But anyway, but this season I would say from my perspective, he only carries 30-35% of the blame.
And you got to see a lot of Zach Wilson. Y'all, I feel like Jets fans have got to see enough of Zach Wilson to say, okay, are we keeping this guy? Are we re-signing him? Or
no, you can't keep him.
Is it the wrap?
You can't keep him. Not only because of everything, but I mean, in New York, he's a pariah, unfortunately. Like nothing, on him personally, but nobody in New York is gonna want to see him suit up for the Jets. That's the bottom line. Like nobody's gonna want to see him suit up. And like I said, I would say it's not even all his fault. Like, and I'll give him props for even handling himself as good as he does. I think he did grow a lot, from a year ago, and like he did a lot of good things. And props to him for putting up with the media because nobody says anything good about this guy.
Yeah,
And
but
it's just
Juan,
amazing that he's still walking around here.
so what I'm hearing is you're saying, okay, he's out of here because the Jets fan base and how it is out.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's gonna be tough to sell
It's
him
a
on.
tough seat. It's a hot seat immediately. It's
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing is you would actually consider keeping him. Would you re-up on that? Would you re-sign him to a team friendly deal? And because obviously you guys are going to try Aaron Rodgers one more again.
Yeah, but the thing is that, man, it's a tough one because it's just it will be tough to put him on the field, you know. And when there is such a thing as momentum, you know, and that flow and that energy, you know, as a sports person, you know, there is such a thing as all that.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't have any support from the fan base, right? They would have to be a thing where you're like so sure that he's gonna break through the mold that, you know, the first time he's on the field, he makes an incredible play. And that's the only, and he scores or whatever. That's the only way people maybe get over it a little bit. But yeah, at this point, I think there's still a chance that he becomes a superstar in the league because again, he has the tools.
Yeah.
He's young, and in a different situation, maybe he figures it out. But with Nathaniel Hackett,
it seemed like the Jets they have a running game. They
have all these things, but that's why I'm saying I think Zach Wilson, I think he's not the main blame here.
Okay.
It's the offensive line but I don't know, Nathaniel Hackett, whoever's running the offense, like if you cannot figure it out with Breece Hall, with Garrett Wilson, and you know, and actually, well, that's kind of it. But you know, decent tight end games. But I mean, they had enough to do something, but they were so epically, and I'm talking historically bad. You know, historically, epically bad
on the offensive side of the ball.
On the offensive side of the ball, it defies any kind of logic. There's no way you're gonna tell me that Nathaniel Hackett is a good.
Nathaniel Hackett, he's not. They didn't fire him. He's coming back for another year, right?
Yeah, which is bonkers, right? Because you're settling everything up again on Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
And you're rolling the dice that your offensive line is going to be awesome. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. You're going to figure out the offensive line. It's going to be awesome. And Nathaniel Hackett is somehow, you know, when he's plugged in with Aaron Rodgers, he's unstoppable. Fine.
So
fine, but let's see it. But that's a huge
ask for Aaron Rodgers too. But what they definitely need to do, if that is the case, because you got a Garrett Wilson, you got a Breece Hall, like you said, they need to go ahead and draft an offensive lineman because they're going to get. They're going to get a decent pick this year. Decent.
No, and that has to be it, right?
Got to protect him. Got to protect Aaron.
Yeah, but at least Jets fans can come back down to earth and not expect anything again, right? Because all our expectations were high this previous season.
Yeah,
and we saw what happens when just a little, you know, well, I guess it was the main part, Aaron Rodgers, but you saw that the organization, whatever they got going on there, they couldn't figure it out, right? Because you can point several other teams in the league, like the Cleveland Browns, you know, that didn't have, you know, they had however many different starting offensive lines, starting different quarterbacks, and they made the playoffs.
Steelers made them. So Juan, that's the thing. That's last question on Jets, and then we're gonna move on to Super Bowl. But Aaron Rodgers healthy. This Achilles injury doesn't happen. Of course, he misses a couple games. All quarterbacks do. I personally feel like y'all make the playoffs in the wild card with Aaron Rodgers because y'all had enough for Aaron Rodgers to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a decent look, and it didn't even have to be a good offensive line. All you had to do was have a halfway decent left tackle. But Mekhi Becton was so epically bad. Like
he was a failure this year. I thought it was more injury based.
No, it's not even. Well, yes, the offensive line had no continuity, so obviously that's a big deal. But if you at least have your left tackle playing solid, right? But Mekhi Becton was literally, a matador. Just
really, it was terrible.
Just come right in.
He's y'all's lotto pick from a.
He was a high draft pick. He's a huge human being, prototypical, perfect size, all that stuff, huge hands, long hands.
But would you say he's nothing with you guys replacing him with this draft pick? Are you guys going to try to get a guard or a right tackle? Like, or are they?
No, they're gonna get a left tackle. Becton's gone. There's no way he comes back.
Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
serious? Is his contract up or? You guys
whatever they
waiting?
do, he's not coming
Come
back.
on,
On the Jets. There's
he's
no
such
way.
a high pick. He's such a high pick.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, we've seen enough. Like he's beyond terrible. Like you just got to move on from him. No, they do.
Oh
He's
my
done.
gosh!
He is
All right.
beyond terrible. Like he really is bad.
Okay, so fans,
He's done.
You guys heard the frustration from the Cowboys side, from the Jets side. Our season's over. We're fishing. We've been fishing for a month, it seems. But there's a big game. Right now we're recording, so it's tomorrow, but when you guys see this, it'll be Super Bowl day probably. We're gonna get into these Super Bowl predictions. Juan, I'm ready to watch some football. I haven't watched any football since Cowboys Packers, guys.
You missed a couple good games, man.
Missed some good games. I tapped into the highlights because that Ravens, Chiefs, the 49ers last game.
The Ravens took a crap.
The 49ers Lions was good game. Yeah. So I had to watch the highlights of that. But now it's Chiefs, 49ers. Everyone kind of knew. I mean, I thought it was going to be 49ers Ravens. Mm-hmm. But look at Mahomes. Again, he's back. He's back. And I want to know, Juan, first I'll ask you who you got favored in this game. And then I'm asked specifically.
Chiefs.
Oh, easy. Chiefs.
Who scores? Chiefs.
Oh, so do you think they beat 49ers handily?
By 10 points. I mean, I don't know if that's handily, but I think it'll go into a couple, into a couple scores. Yeah, probably not 2 touchdowns. But, let's say, 6, I guess 6 points is still 1 score, but yeah, so 2 scores. I would say I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be close. But I think the Chiefs defense this year is so good. It's so good. And the 49ers offense has not looked great.
Purdy's not great. Purdy's not great. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is good. They've got a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But really, it comes down to possession by possession. Mahomes is going to get more first downs than this kid Purdy, dude. Because like you said, the Chiefs defense, normally it's Mahomes
right.
having to do everything. His defense is handling business. The way they handle the Ravens, and Ravens stomped the 49ers. So
the Ravens, I think the Ravens, obviously, I'm not to take anything away from the Chiefs, but I think the Ravens just pooped on themselves. They lost that game. They didn't get beat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a little bit of both. I shouldn't say that because the Chiefs did play, great. They did enough in the first half because, I mean, look at the second half. They didn't score. I don't think they scored, or maybe they got a touchdown.
No.
So the Ravens kind of made their adjustments, but Lamar Jackson never could get back into that hump. Right? Like he got hit in the mouth, not literally, but just figuratively. Like, oh man, we're not. They're just not gonna let us win because we're the number 1 team in the Ravens.
They stopped the run.
They figure it out.
The Chiefs found a way to stop the Ravens' run.
Did he? Look, man, you can't even say that. The Ravens ran the ball with running backs, I think 6 times total.
You're right. You're absolutely
the entire game.
And so Lamar didn't want to run
themselves on that.
You're right.
The Ravens put themselves on that.
You're right. You're right. And that's a lot of people are saying that too. Like, yeah, did they stop the run, or did the Ravens try to get cute?
Yeah, they outsmarted themselves.
Look, yeah, exactly. They're like they're gonna sell out on the run. So let's go over top because everyone said Lamar Jackson was trying to beat him with the pass, not with his legs.
Right now, and that's what. And Lamar Jackson looked good at times, but overall, like the Chiefs they have good cover corners. Like they, right there, they're like white on rice or whatever.
Yeah, you seen what they did to Tyreek? You see how they stopped up Tyreek Hill the round before that. The Ravens
have a couple of nice receivers. Flowers or whatever. That kid Flowers.
Yeah,
it's good. But he also shot himself in the foot, right? Like,
I gotta ask you about that rule. So you're talking about the fumble in the end zone, or what?
Not only that, but on the play before that, he got a 40-yard pass bomb, and then he taunts and costs 15 yards. Sure. That's where that championship medal comes into play, where you don't get because at the end of the day, when you're in those kind of games and situations, you can't afford anything. You cannot afford to do anything.
Not an inch.
Nothing. You can't give up stuff like that. And it was an obvious call. Like it was just as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe he
And
did
his
that.
coach was John Harbaugh, excuse me, was so hot. Oh my gosh, that you
Well,
hate.
that was the more shocking part, that a John Harbaugh coach team
Yeah,
just fell apart. Not
it's a
only
young guy. It's that yeah, but that was a young boneheaded play.
they
That
gave up the another 15-yarder with, I forget his name, but he headbutted Travis Kelsey.
oh yeah, Juan Smith.
That was also just what? And then again, Flowers trying to do too much to make up for his boneheadedness. He tries to put the ball out across the end zone before he's actually there. And look, I don't blame him too much for that, because that's like a normal.
That's a try hard play. It's a try hard play.
Try hard play, but that's what I'm talking about. He wasn't ready for that. Like, you got to know, dude's coming. You got to protect the. It's more important to protect the ball.
I hate that rule now. Like,
it is.
It happened to the Cowboys twice. It happened to the Cowboys in that game. It happened to the Cowboys, and it happened a couple weeks before that, and we lost. Fumbling in the end zone, and you don't. That's it.
That's it.
They get the ball back. Oh my God! We're at the 1 yard line. What a harsh penalty! Or it's not a penalty. Just what a harsh rule.
It's a harsh rule. You're right, and they'll probably change it. But anyway, I think the Chiefs have the upper hand in the Super Bowl. I think.
And you know what's funny, Juan? Like my son hit me up about all this prize pick gambling stuff. And he's like, they're doing all this Patrick Mahomes 1 yard and Travis Kelsey score a touchdown, and you could double your money. Like Patrick Mahomes 1 yard passing, McCaffrey scores a touchdown, you could double your money. Dog, I think this might be a low scoring game. Vegas is being weird. It might be like a 14-10 game.
You know what though? It may be, but
it might be like
San Francisco just hasn't looked impressive in their playoff games, right?
Yeah,
it's not just Purdy. Although Purdy, you know what? My respects. Like, maybe he won't know any better, and he'll play great, right? But like, if you think about, oh, I'm playing against Mahomes and all that, that stuff can mess with your head.
It's rough.
And you can get, which I think is partly of that happened to the Ravens. Like, they were all hyped up on themselves, and then when Mahomes was Mahomes, they were like they didn't know what to do.
Exactly. They were too adrenalined out. The Ravens. That's why all those.
I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird. So I think the 49ers, maybe Purdy doesn't know any better, and it becomes he plays really well. It's possible. I'm not putting that out of the realm of possibility. But at the end of the day, if you give me Mahomes or Purdy, I'm gonna take Mahomes like all day, every day.
I'm calling. Yeah, that's me too. Everyone's trying to get cute about McCaffrey, and I would love to see McCaffrey win, but I'm not really a 49ers fan, so whatever. I'm not sure. If I'm a betting man, then I'm picking the Chiefs. Probably, I'm thinking low, dude, because all these little prize pick bets where McCaffrey scores to double your. Wait, what do they know? Is this going to be like a two-score game? I'm thinking 17-10 Chiefs. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be.
I could see that.
I think Purdy might crap the bed. I think he might piss the bed. That's what I think. I think it's going to be the opposite of what you're saying. I think he will feel the moment and have all these players on his team that wanted chips so bad, and it's all on his back. And he got to go first down for first down with Patrick Mahomes, possibly the greatest to ever do it.
It'll be tough, dude. It'll be tough. That is a tall tap. It's a tall ask.
Yeah.
Tall task. All that. But I think it'll be a good game. And but it's at this point, it's like when Brady, every year you thought, okay, this is finally, they're looking bad or whatever, and then they would be right back up there.
That's what it's starting
like. I've learned enough from that era, even though it was just a few years ago, to say, you know what, I'm not going to bet against the Chiefs.
And one last thing before we end the Super Bowl talk. No, a couple more things, but football-wise, Patrick Mahomes is just so surgical because he also has the chemistry with Kelsey. Right. When the play's broken, it's still danger zone because Kelsey knows exactly where to go. Like he's looking for Kelsey when he scrambles, and they can't break that chemistry. It's tough, dude. Even when Andy Reid's drawing up a magnificent play, and then when it breaks, it's still Alert, alert, alert. Where's Kelsey?
Yeah.
Stuff. And speaking of Kelsey, Juan, would you rather see a Taylor Swift halftime show or an Usher halftime show?
Can I say none of the above? When was the last time Usher did anything? I'm
Oh
not a big
no,
Usher
Usher's
fan.
Juan.
I'm
Terrible.
not a big Usher
Usher's
fan.
gonna Juan, fans, heat him up. Usher's gonna kill it. He's gonna
I
kill
hope
it.
so. I hope so. But no, definitely not Taylor Swift though. I got nothing against Taylor Swift, by the way. I'm not a Taylor Swift hater. Hey,
Wow, Juan.
you
So
can
it's
make $1 billion doing whatever it is you do. More power to you, man. But man, neither the Taylor Swift nor Usher do anything for me. Really, we'll see. Hopefully, it's cool, but I got low expectations.
Oh man, hey Juan, it sucks. I was freaking out because I'm about to just be here and I'm inviting any homie who wants to come and watch it. And I literally wanted to invite you, and I'm like, I can't invite Juan, but you're one of the homies that would show up because you're a faithful fan.
I'd be out there.
So,
I went up to LA.
I know, yeah, but I didn't talk to you. We didn't connect.
No. I'm talking about a Super Bowl. I went to your.
Oh, exactly. That's why I thought about you. I was like, oh, Juan would show up, and yeah. Anyways, that's why we even doing the episode because I thought about you, Juan. But
thank you.
There goes Super Bowl talk. There goes hate on our teams and be mad about the turnout of our season. We're gonna go switch over to NBA because my buddy was just at Madison Square Garden. Got to watch the Lakers versus the Knicks. What'd you say, Juan? You get to check off seeing LeBron James?
Check off seeing LeBron James live.
Nice.
I never saw Jordan, and I guess I did see Kobe a few times, but yeah, LeBron was on the bucket list, so now it's done.
And how did it? Okay, so obviously the Lakers won that game.
Yep.
How did Lakers look live to you? Because I'm truly curious. As far do we look like a playoff bound team or do we look like we're in sham? Because we won the game, but you guys didn't have Randall, so
we didn't have Randall and we didn't have Aquinua or however you pronounce it.
Oh, Anunoby too.
Anunoby, there you go.
Yes.
So the Knicks have been. Did you see that a couple nights ago? They played against the Mavericks with 7 guys total.
So you guys are just injury ridden.
Four starters out, and then their 5th starter got injured like in the 3rd quarter, and they played with 7 dudes.
It's that time of the season. Everybody needs all-star break, dog. Everybody needs.
But as far as the Lakers, to be honest, I thought they looked pretty good. They look decent. But what it comes down to is can that unknown give them enough? And because we already know Austin Reeves has become like a pretty consistent guy. Like his stock continues to rise. He's solid. LeBron trusts him. Like that's obvious. Like as if you watch LeBron throughout his career, there's guys he just doesn't trust. He just cannot play well with.
And he likes.
He looks like he likes him. Like that's his ride or die. So I think that's good. And Austin Reeves seems to be a guy that, like, for where he's coming from, he just plays, and it's cool.
He's a gamer. He's a gamer. When
I respect him.
The moment, he's one of those players he'll take the shot.
He'll just do it. Like he doesn't, he's cool with it. It just seems to be cool with everything and whatever. But so I like him. Obviously AD, he could be a monster. And then LeBron, right? But the Knicks lost that game because LeBron took over down the stretch, and AD made a couple of nice defensive plays. So I think they have enough to do well, but they're not gonna. I just don't see them getting past Denver.
Juan, so we have enough, and we are floating on the greatness of like LeBron James and AD because, like you said, Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, they're good players. We have a better core than we did last year, honestly, because we have more chemistry. But what I've seen this whole season for the Lakers is if we're getting blown out, we could get blown out if we're just not shooting good. If we're having a good shooting night and we're close and we're within range, LeBron can close out. But LeBron is basically at the age now where he's not going to play much defense. So everything around LeBron has to be clicking. They all have to be shooting well. And if we're in range, we can beat anyone. Like because with the combination of AD and LeBron at the end of a game, getting you easy buckets and getting to the free throw line is a good formula. So that's like where we're at. But I just don't think LeBron's not at the age, or he's too old to give you 4 quarters of LeBron James.
Right, he's not gonna carry. It's gonna be tough. He could probably carry you through a couple games, but an entire series,
Yeah.
he can't play that. He can't play that role anymore. Like
not against these top teams, not against these teams.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's true too.
And like all the we could win a first round game. We could win a first round game, but as soon as you get to like the Jokic's and
it becomes a grind, it's gonna be tough for him to grind out those.
Exactly, because he basically got 2 quarters. He got like 2 quarters in him a game.
And to be honest, like you could see a preview of that if you watch the Lakers Denver game a couple nights.
Exactly.
It was close, but then Denver was like 10-0 run in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough.
But you know what? Like I said, they looked like they can compete. But again, I think the West just has a little bit of a stack that it's going to be tough to overcome.
Dude, the West is a monster. That's why I wanted to ask you if you think, after watching them, because I think it's going to be kind of the same show as last year. We may not even get to the Western last year we got to the Western Conference Finals. Right. We might get out of the play-in, and we'd be lucky if we got out of the first round. Lucky.
I think the Lakers can win a first round, but
I think so. But
obviously, depending on who they play, they don't want to play obviously Denver.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on seeding.
Because they gotta make some moves for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing OKC because OKC's at the top. If we could get OKC just how we got Memphis, a young team,
right?
When we got him last year in the first round. If we could get but that's how I feel on the Lakers. I wanted to ask you before we got out of here, Juan, about the Knicks, and y'all made a trade. Y'all got away from RJ Barrett and acquired Anunoby. How do you feel about it? Do you like the trade? Do you feel like a winner?
No, I mean, obviously, like the Knicks have been on a tear since that trade. Like
I agree.
It's hard to argue against that. And RJ Barrett, it seemed like he's hit a ceiling, and he's not. And he's a good player. I nothing bad to say against him.
Yeah.
As far as a player, the one that hurt was quickly. What sucks is that I just bought his freaking jersey.
No, Juan!
Because I was thinking, this is a young guy. I think he has the most potential to be here a long time. And then he gets traded. So that one hurt. And I think that was a big that RJ Barrett, I was like, great. RJ Barrett's a good player, but he's trying to be a number 2, a number 3 guy.
Exactly. There's not enough balls to go around on the team.
Right. It just with Randall and Brunson handling the ball as much as he does. It just was weird. Like
you don't want that usage taken away from Brunson. You want Brunson with the basketball perimeter as much as possible.
So the ball really wasn't flowing. It's like, oh, this time around Randall takes it, or this time around RJ Barrett takes it, and that just wasn't enough. Right?
Now you guys have like an Anunoby. He's literally a tool on defense. He can hit the open 3. He's a good.
He fits into the flow rather than like stop it and take over.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you know that, but they also got Bogdanovic, however you say his name, Brogdon Bogdanovic and Alec Burke. So
from the Pistons. So y'all got Bogdanovic from the Pistons.
Bogdanovic, there you go.
Oh, y'all are doing your thing. Yeah. I knew that he left the Pistons. I didn't know to where though. Okay.
To the Knicks, along with Alex Burke, and so he'll start probably. I don't know if he's starting tonight. The Knicks are playing the Pacers. I'm not sure if he's starting yet.
Because he's like a 4.
Yeah, no, he's. While Randall's hurt,
back? Oh, Randall's hurt still. Okay.
No. While Randall's hurt, he's gonna be. Hopefully, they can win enough games to stay in there.
Absolutely.
Once we get healthy, we'll see, man. Anyway, it's exciting to see the Knicks. Like everybody's talking about them. Like the city is like kind of, the Knicks again because they were so bad for so long. Like it's exciting. So that part's cool.
What else is exciting is you guys got a player that in crunch time. It's been a second since you've had a player in crunch time that could close for you guys for really close.
Brunson has
Vince Mello, honestly.
Brunson's stock has skyrocketed. I mean, we started off like, oh, that's a nice sign. That's a nice sign.
Also,
but no, I would argue he's brought himself to superstar level, and you can talk about him as MVP. Maybe it's a little premature. And it's gonna be tough for him to win that, but for sure, for the Knicks, I mean,
He's in discussion.
he's completely changed the face of the Knicks.
And aren't you guys you guys are like top 5 in the playoff run, right?
Yeah, I think they're in the four seed there. They're only a couple games back of the second seed.
Look at Juan. Let's go. I love it.
It's a good time for at least Knicks. You know, I would take my mind off of the Jets. All right, let's go Knicks.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we have officially switched to basketball. You got our Super Bowl predictions. So we didn't leave y'all hanging or nothing. I almost did. I almost said F football. I almost said it. But I gave y'all my predictions. Y'all can get out of here. We're going to basketball from here on out. But thank you, Juan, for joining the show once again. You've been a blast. You've talked about Jets. You've talked about Knicks. I love it. The fans love your insight. Anything to say before we get out of here?
Like and subscribe, man. Thank you for having me. Always love these discussions like the old days when
Absolutely.
No one was listening.
Yo, now I got 100 subscribers, Juan. I just hit 100, dog.
Hey, congratulations. That's what's up. That's good.
Let's go. I promise I won't starve y'all fans. I promise I won't starve.
More than we had in the living room back in the day.
Exactly. It's just us.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Until next time on the Faithful Fan Show, thank you, Juan, again for joining. Hey, Super Bowl weekend.
Go.
Rookie in the paint, going hard with the vet. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Rookie in the paint, going hard with the vet. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Animal, MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling like a paper like Phil. I'm Morpheus and real, my rhymes convict and heal. A world blind, my lies a red pill, real. Ball like I've been here, rookie in his prime. Focus like Jordan the second time. Kobe in playoff times, you know believe when I drive. Call for it, Kelly go in the please don't spit. Auto like free throws by Ito. Circle loose, stroke magic. Rhymes over all y'all like Dirk for 2. Rookie in the game, insane, coming for you. GGB the crew.